So we understand the Bank of Ghana has given a new set of guidelines for the MFIs, that's the Microfinance Institutions. I mean, what are these guidelines?
Okay. Yeah, thank you. If you look at the guidelines, they are new, but not necessarily new. They may be new because now it's more of enforcement, and that is requires to governance, which is already in existence. But now they want to push further so that it will not just be a board on a paper, but a board that is very active. Then the reporting system. I mean, some of them are reporting, but not large numbers. So what they are actually going to do with the new rule is to ensure that MFIs that have been regulated or registered will report per the Bank of Ghana guidelines. So it's about governance, it's about reporting, and then the issue about capital requirement. The capital requirement, I mean, the discussions were back and forth. I mean, it's been moved from, I think, 500 to 2 million, depending on where you are, for a tier 1, which is a savings and loans or a rural bank. Specifically for the rural banks, they are looking at a minimum capital requirement of, let's say, 1 million. And then the tier 2, which are the deposit institutions, they are looking at 2 million. But non-deposits would still have the same applied sense. And then the other one, which are the FNGOs and others, also have what they are supposed to do. So I think it's 1 million, 2 million. 1 million for the rural banks, 2 million for deposit and non-deposit takers, and then it scales down. So there are 3 key things that you are looking at: the capital requirement to push up so that you increase the risk base of the microfinance institutions, then the issue of governance, which is board, active board, and then reporting. So those are the new things that they are looking at.
What are these new guidelines going to achieve for the industry?
Well, I mean, they have their own implication. We cannot underrate the fact of good governance. I mean, a good board, a knowledgeable board, a technical board, and an active board. We cannot underplay the effect of these things when they are not in the industry. But let's look at it from the perspective of microfinance institutions, even before I go to the other ones. I mean, the board, the BOG is asking for microfinance institutions to have different committees. The point is that if you look at the microfinance institutions and their size in terms of ability to finance, it's not very advisable to have a board that is even larger, up to 5. I mean, so you're looking at 3 to 5 for a very standard microfinance institutions. But if, for instance, you have your wherewithal, you can go for 7 and others. And so 5, how many committees can you form out of 5? So what largely I would look at is actually a governance of all, an omnibus board, instead of having committees. How many committees can you have in permutation, in 5 people or from 5 people? So that will where the challenge is. And if you ask them to have that board, which will go with numbers, what you are also doing is that you are actually also increasing the costs. They are not a big size institution, so decision making must be quality and must be fast. So that's another aspect of the regulation that we need to look at. But the important thing is that governance is very, very important, and not just any governance, but a board that understands the concept of microfinance.